Walking Saladi's alley, past ancient oaks and blooming bushes, people talk about Grandil. They summon heroes from another world with special powers to slay the Dark Lord. A month since that call, the city is buzzing. Everyone's guessing who these mysterious heroes are. Can they stop the ancient evil? The girl in the carriage grew lively. Are these the legendary heroes? Her eyes sparkled, listening to the travelers. She was right. Legends claim some possess dual powers, maybe all wield immense power, and old scrolls speak of them. They'll crush the Dark Lord instantly. Once war starts, these merchants will rake in the cash, already rubbing their hands in greed. Tina was hooked on tales of true heroes, picturing warriors ending fights in one hit and noble knights dying for justice. She dreamed of a queen whose passionate speech on humanity inspires youth into true heroes. Tina knew such defenders made the kingdom fearless. She yearned to meet someone special, certain her dream would come true. This hope kept her pushing through her dull, gray life. Tina loves the skills matrix. Everyone sees their abilities. Before, nobody even imagined their true potential. Travelers from miles away are dying to test this weird feature first, hunting for something special with eyes glowing from hype. How many youths shattered by reality? How many hopes crumbled when truth hit? Dreams don't always come true. Only the deserving become true heroes. Akino's Canada was just an ordinary student with no powers, another face in the crowd. Every morning he washed, ate, and prepped for school. Heading out, he greeted neighbors, ever the well-mannered boy. 1 month after arriving in Grandil, the students have traded their nightmares for life among these majestic castles and hills. Since the call, nothing's changed. The Dark Lord still lives and plots, alarming the kingdom and the summoned. Tamaki Saki dials Canada. She asked for different onigiri flavors, all were the same. He glared at her. A modest X-class monitor, you'd never guess she's an assassin. In battle, she's a shadow, blitzing through enemies unseen. Girls swarmed him, complaining there was no manga or magazines. Back home, they got new chapters weekly. Stunned, he told them to relax. He says his shop only sells tea and weights, admitting he's clueless about growing his business. He tells them to hang in there, but a girl calls him rude. He was sick of everyone mocking his skills. His workshop featured power, AC, and light. Even the bathroom had toilet paper and a flush toilet. A work computer nearby let them place orders. This knowledge boosted his confidence. Modern people value this skill, even with limited goods. Locals enter the store, trading their items for our goods. Amazed by our wisdom, Akano Sekinata gladly offers them something new. Exotic fruit keeps him fed. As he munches an apple, a knock rings out. Another visitor is here. Shinji, Taylor, and Ryo frequently visit and call the third group, obsessed with the place, especially the bathroom. Inside, they found Tamaki on a futon in the store's middle. She claimed it was convenient and comfy, but no one understood why she picked such a bizarre spot. The owner kicked Kawasaki out for boasting, while a betrayed Ryo apologized frantically. They were way too noisy. He needed focus but didn't judge. Balance was everything. 1 second you're in class, the next you're in a strange world. Welcome, heroes. As ruler of Great Eliu, Akinosai finally grasped the new world's secrets. It offered massive potential, but demanded total dedication. The Dark Lord is the Demon King, who created the monsters terrorizing this world. The Dark Lord and his monsters already crushed 2 of the continent's 7 states. To overcome crisis, Grandil summoned heroes from another world, learned from ancient manuscripts. Dormant knowledge from the Royal Library finally proved useful. Everyone knows the outcome. All 31 classmates gathered for a serious matter. Some clung to friends in fear, others eyed unfamiliar walls, while one tried to grasp what was happening. The world was shocked. Normally, just 3-4 heroes appear, but this time way more arrived. Local honor student Kuramachi Yudo broke the silence, needing answers from the ruler. Kanata couldn't stand the guy. He reminded her they were only kids, then asked if she'd grant any students' wish to go home without fighting the Dark Lord. The queen said they couldn't afford it. Tamaki asked why, but she looked terrified. Something dark lurked behind this choice, making the chief's voice tremble. The ruler replied they lacked the magic to reopen the portal. But defeating the Dark Lord grants this power, then they might return you with the spell. They didn't realize defeating this lord was their only way home. He wasn't just a strong enemy, he was a true wall blocking their path to family and life. No retreat left. The Suramathic kept pressing, rudely staring down the queen with another question. He reminded them they were just ordinary people. How could they beat a Dark Lord who crushed the world's strongest warriors? The queen told them not to worry. They now wield unique powers unknown to the past, abilities ancient texts say can wound the Dark Lord. She explained their status reveals their skills, so Akino Shikanata immediately checked his powers. A system window pops up, scanning the hero's status and skills. Did the shop open? He dreamed of martial arts, magic, and a monster girl harem, but got nothing. A day after the royal summons, hero training starts. First, they pick abilities to slay the Dark Lord. Yudo's friend Kanata often annoyed him. Yudo received 2 powers, 5-time rebirth immortality and the goddess's gift, mastery of all magic and divine protection. It was fair. Karamaki leads the first team capable of opposing the Dark Lord. The team, Kanamori-jun, Water Maid, Kana Miyoka, Healer, Savano Ludi, Marksman, Yukisaki, Swordsman, Natori Mitsuki, Shield Mage, Mindsuki Yuhai. Second squad and first group reservists replaced the wounded. Canada's third unit was declared unfit for combat. He was thrilled. His fire-wielding friend Sujita Yuki made the roster. He claimed he wasn't jealous, but the envy poisoned his confidence. A month later, the third squad broke under the pressure. They fled to the rope store, trading serious talk for onigiri gossip. This offered no hope. He kept wondering when he'd defeat the Dark Lord and if he could even handle it. Tamaki Saki saw his sad face, realizing something was amiss. She rushed to check on him, but her intense worry spooked him. Her kindness made him feel guilty for being so cold. Embarrassed, the hero said everyone has important thoughts, even him. They rarely appeared, but always left a mark. What was she doing here with first squad guests? He found their presence strange, a challenge or fate's bold experiment. Tamaki explained she came for the AC and restroom, super convenient. But the owner wouldn't let her sit on the table. I don't want to go back. Few want to fight the Dark Lord. Campfire legends are one thing, but facing real evil demands true heroism. Everyone agrees, even Akinos. She knows nobody's happy, and even Assassin says nobody likes this. Tamaki wasn't interested in defeating the Dark Lord. The hero asked if she was joking, but her face showed she was serious. Maybe she was exhausted. If her team fails, they're trapped forever. No one can sit out. Bound by duty, they must win. The girl replied they'd be fine, they could handle it. Suddenly, she added she'd protect Kanata, touching his pride. He felt unnecessary. She just smiled back, her warmth making every worry vanish. Tamaki waved goodbye, went to her room, and Kanata sighed in relief as everyone left, finally quiet. Tasks done, he wondered if he should leave the door open for their return. Kanamori bursts in. Squad member Minazuki Yohei, the spearman, is missing, and he's often here. Kuramoto was worried the guy skipped training again. Caught off guard, the wanted man turned pale, eyes darting in panic. He urgently needed an excuse. He apologized, claiming sickness and resting in the store for the AC, but Kanata sensed his formal language. Kanamori Green grinned, claiming he understood everything. A sinister spark flashed in his eyes. What was his plan? He mocked us. This shop, the third squad's gathering place, offers them rest, support, and a sense of worth. Smiling, he called it a fitting place for the unwanted. The mage warned, nothing remains, grass will reclaim everything. 3 instantly objected. Who does he think he is? An otaku shouldn't get cocky for one strong skill. Minazuki jumped in, terrified. He warned them to stay polite, but his shaking hands and voice proved he was deeply upset. Water swamped the store, even Kinos didn't expect it. Streams shot from all sides like an invisible archer commanded. What just happened? Did he hide behind the register to survive? Kanamori stood calm, watching the chaos he'd unleashed. Water surged, lifting heroes and shelf items, then dragging everything down. The magical flood's duration was unknown, its consequences unavoidable. Is this his special ability? He's stronger than he realized. He yelled for the water mage to stop, but the mage was too lost in his magic to listen. A mere worm dared challenge Kanamori, a main team member. His smile wasn't encouraging, it was frightening. Kanamori slowly raised his hand. Water streams around him swirled fiercely. He laughed darkly, realizing those idiots were still scum even in another world. Over the rushing water and screaming students, a calm, confident voice echoed. He spun around in shock. No one expected to survive his arrival. Kanata couldn't ignore Kuramachi Yudo. He had a vital message, so Kanata stopped before the water mage could sweep him away. The moment the leader stepped, Kanamori dropped his hands and the elements obeyed. His gaze now held respect and curiosity. As Akino coughed up water, the commander approached. "Hello, Kanata," he said, his calm voice dripping with mockery. The boy looked up, stunned by his classmates' cruelty despite their long silence. A month isn't an excuse. Kuramash's face didn't twitch. What did he want? Yudo spoke with a cold, official tone like alibi brief. His friend tensed up, barely recognizing his own classmate. He wanted Canada out of the city? What was he talking about? First Squad's leader claimed Canada made weaker people lose touch with reality. The third squad wasn't the only failure. Even the main team ditched duty for the Agnosi store. Discipline was crumbling and Yuta couldn't stop the laziness. The boy was worried too. Despite his confusion, he knew those words held a bitter truth. Yuta continues. To return home, they must defeat the Dark Lord by uniting. He called Canada's power useless and dangerous. It distracted the heroes, so he ordered him to leave before being forced out. Could the shop owner actually be exiled? To protect his most valuable asset, the boy negotiated. He understood Kuramachi but needed time to think. Waking up in a new world is overwhelming, but the squad leader showed no mercy. He laughed and gave Kanata until morning to figure it out. He'd only get money if he begged on his knees. Kanamori slyly smirked behind the official. The boy said he was fine. Yudo praised his elite team, certain they'd crush the Dark Lord. Canada could relax, but the word inevitable haunted the shop owner. Kuramachi dreamed of winning and returning home to save the modern world himself, but Akano thought he'd lost his mind. Staring at Kanata, he reveals his insane plan. Society lacks free thought, so with godlike power, he'll return to force total obedience. The boy realized the man had snapped. With burning eyes and a twisted smile, he was now more unpredictable than ever. He just wanted Kanata gone from the city. Kuramati, understood, smiled thinly. Leaving, he condescendingly told him to pray for their Dark Lord victory, his voice dripping with confidence as if it was already won before battle began. Kino stood by his shop, triumphant. A quick restart would fix everything, but Tamaki was completely lost. She learned Minazuki and her team were in trouble. She arrived to find the store demolished. She asked if Kuramachi wanted Canada to leave Grand L. This is unacceptable. She promised to tell him everything face-to-face, clearly worried about the situation. The boy was surprised and pleased, but wasn't she a chosen one? She was on the first team with Kanamori and Kuramoto. This puts her in a bind. He wanted the first squad kept out, but Tamaki Saki is one of them. She reminded him every chosen one has a role, telling him to listen closer. Everything was fine, but Kanata couldn't believe it. Kuramachi pushes hardest in hero training, joined by Water Mage Kanamori, Ice Mage Kirashima, Shield Mage Mitsuki, and Swordsman Saki. The rest, even the assassin, lounge in the palace. Most quit training, losing interest. Only 5 remain active. Initially, everyone attended lectures, but when monster hunting classes started, attitudes shifted. Ice Mage Kirashima terrified the crowd by blasting orcs with ice arrows, but Kanata wasn't surprised after the Kanamori incident. She replied Kanamori was worse. He cruelly tortured and killed enemies, choosing the most painful methods. No wonder she hated him. The boy asked her about the psychopath. Tamaki instantly knew he meant Kuramachi. She knew too much, but told all to save the boy from trouble. He's a flawless student who never fails or misses training. The palace loves his perfection, but it's all a mask for something darker. The girl admitted constant arguments. Lately, everyone feared him. The hero pressed for details, sensing a deeper truth. The ex-leader said everyone went home normally, but Kuramachi headed straight to the Crusaders' barracks. Kanata thought he was imagining things. Yudo spends nights alone with beautiful Crusaders. Hero jokes, calls him a talkative fool. He adds Tamaki's strange priorities and images catch her off guard. Kuramachi is the queen's lover, the country's future ruler, so even Minazuki won't cross him. Kanata realized Minazuki feared him, remembering recent events. If wrong, they'd face conspiracy charges for targeting the court favorite. Suddenly, talking to the arrogant first squad commander was nearly impossible. Kanata knew Kuramachi's defeat meant he was plotting something sinister. Meanwhile, Tamaki Saki took a break and spread a blanket on the shop floor. Dawn was hours away. With a psychopath in power, Kanata had a new sworn enemy. Anxiety kept the hero awake, and he let out a heavy sigh. Akino hoped Tamaki could convince the first unit leader to think twice. But maybe it was better not to stop him. As he thought, the girl assassin already had her 10th dream. Flaming arrows blasted the store windows. Flashes lit the room, startling the hero. He rushed to wake his friend. She barely understood what happened. Canada confidently led her by the hand into the building, holding tight. Dazed, the girl struggled to focus as he checked the cameras to catch the intruder. Suddenly, they spot the queen on horseback, flanked by armed guards. The Crusaders, Matcha hid behind her classmate, totally unprepared. Kanata never expected Grandel's leader to come for him personally. Hiro knew she came to drive him away for Kuramachi. Tamaki didn't believe it. Why complicate things? Maybe they just wanted to scare him or hoped he'd just leave. A ringing voice echoed through corridors, trembling the air. It grew clearer. Queen Gradelay Crusade arrived. The church declared the shop owner a heretic for backing a dark lord, banishing him from the kingdom forever. Wait, there's more. He supposedly committed horrific crimes this month, but that's impossible. How could Aquino be a criminal when he's always at the store? Tamaki defended him, swore he'd never do it. A blatant lie. Everyone saw she wasn't supporting a friend, just ignoring the truth. Often falsely accused, the hero slumped at the table. Kuramachi just trashed his reputation. How low can one sink? The queen kept accusing him, giving him no time to think. She ordered him to surrender and leave, or she'd burn him and the shop down. No time to think. He had to save Tamaki. He pointed to the back door and yelled for her to run, leaving the assassins stunned. She vowed never to leave him, urging them to run. But he was hunted, and staying meant her own danger. The owner surrendered, but a choice remained. His words felt heavy as he scanned the shop one last time. The girl whispered she didn't want this. Her voice trembled like shattering glass. Fear and indecision filled her eyes. Blushing, she reminded him of her promise. She'd always protect him. Tears welled. Canada wondered, is the monitor always so sensitive? Aquin stroked her hair and told her not to worry, his touch sharing his calm. If they escape and meet again, he'll let her use the bathroom and buy seaweed for her guinea pig. She just has to obey. Let's try to get it. The answer stunned the girl. She banished him. She came to the store daily, not for products, but because he worked there. Hiro ignored the girl killer's words, pushing her out the door to protect her. Kanata joked back, promising victory over the Dark Lord and telling her to stay safe. Tearing up, Tamaki admitted she never met such a quirky guy. She ordered him to live and remember her promise. Kanata waved her off, but her words stuck as he watched Tamaki disappear. Strange sounds made the boy whip around. Aquino told guards he'd surrender, appearing unarmed. They surrounded him, blades at his throat. Kanata stayed calm, hiding the storm inside. The queen backed his surrender, a criminal's smart move. As the hero raised his hands, he saw her confidently deem him guilty. Cruz looked down, declaring they'd never meet again. She called him worthless. Guards kicked him out, leaving him with nowhere to go. The doors slammed shut. He walked off, drowning in regret. It wasn't fair. Why him? Was he really useless? Where did he fail? Night fell, but he was still lost. The confusion irritated him. Deep in the Saladas forest, total darkness swallowed him. Thick trees blocked all light, and every step echoed with the sound of rustling leaves and cracking branches. It was so dark even his grandma's fields looked bright. Terrified, a chill spiked down his spine as the darkness itself came alive. Hiro must return to the city now, but if caught, he'll burn alive for being expelled. At this rate, Kanata becomes another fallen hero from their class. Night in the forest, every leaf rustle sparks fear. Aquino scans, hears every rustle. His heart pounds at every snap, every hoot. Suddenly, he recalled something vital. Can he summon the shop anywhere with a thought? He tests it, commands it to appear, and his instincts were right. Checking store cameras, Canada saw aggressive beasts creeping up. Cameras showed the danger approaching. Their movements were coordinated, they were about to attack. They've got him surrounded. The boy knew light attracted them, so he had to turn it off fast across the store. He scanned the room but couldn't find the switch. Air grew thin as his heart hammered wildly. Sweat blurred Kanata's vision as he frantically searched. Is he really gone? Horrified, Aquino's realized he never turned off the shop lights. No switch, maybe a clap works. Realizing he had to barricade entrances, Kanat stacked boxes by the door. Suddenly, he heard rustling. He spun toward the noise to find two predators already inside, yellow eyes glowing and saliva dripping from their massive fangs. He waited silently, mind blank, facing monsters that weren't dogs or wolves. One attack meant his end. He's accepted they'll devour every scrap of food on the shelves. Kanata wanted them to stay away, but he accidentally dropped something, instantly grabbing their attention. The boy thought he was finished. The wolf creatures went on high alert, sniffing for his scent with ears like radars. They knew prey was close. No time passed. He saw a terrifying creature charging him, another trailed behind. Time slowed, each moment an eternity. Doors closed, Kanata quickly decided his next move, instantly brainstorming escape routes. No time, he panicked. Desperate for a weapon, his eyes landed on a fire extinguisher and he snatched it. He pulled the extinguisher pin, aimed at the wolves, and yelled, "Hey, wolves, how do you like that?" Foam blasted out, hitting the nearest wolf's face. The beasts bared their teeth but stayed back, stunned. Canada's confidence surged. Keep this up and they'll scatter. What, the foam's breaking? The extinguisher worked seconds, then broke. He talked to it like it was alive. Seriously, what kind of joke is this? He almost died right there. Kanata laughed nervously, realizing the extinguisher was empty. Shaking, he gripped the canister as his eerie laugh echoed through the silence. Despair crushed him. He'd be the first to die, easy prey for any monster. His mind raced, he was completely helpless. He leaned against the door, creatures clawing just beyond. A fire extinguisher lay nearby, his planned defenses scattered. Mom, Dad, the cat, they were all worried. Their faces flashed in his mind, fueling his strength while ripping his soul apart. He wondered if Tamara escaped, picturing her smiling, hopeful. Was she safe? He had to survive for his family and for her. Would she cry if he died here? Her eyes showed concern and tenderness last time. Did he make a mistake? They weren't close, yet her face flashed in his final moments. Was it love or just a subconscious defense? The dust finally settles. The boy checked cameras, then peeked behind the door. The silence felt unnatural, unsettling. After recent events, no sound, not even a rustle. Inside, his shop was trashed. Shattered glass, ruined food, and signs of intruders who'd already bolted. He survived. Shielding his eyes, Canada realized the monsters feared the sun. His body was wrecked, but he was alive. Suddenly, a message popped up. His store leveled up. He didn't expect this. What happened? The voices weren't just in his head. Kanata couldn't tell reality from fiction as the chaos drove him insane. Kanata knew he could check his condition mentally, so he did. He realized defending the shop leveled him up. That's the secret. He spotted massive changes and couldn't wait to dive in. Kanata collapsed face down on his workshop floor, his last hours flashing by. Monster clashes, escapes, desperate survival. The day was packed with events, leaving the shop owner dreaming of sleep as fatigue washed over him, blurring his thoughts. He grew too sleepy to hear hooves or alarms outside. Shadows thickened on wandering Lady Tina's path. Silence was brief, the noise still woke him. Kanata's eyes slowly opened, blazing with fury, his second sleepless night. What happened this time? Are Grandils hunting him again? Unlikely. Kanata would be dead already, but nearby dying screams already echo. The boy leaned on the table. If not them, then who? The cameras show nothing. Only one thing left, sort this out himself. Peeking from the trees, the girl spotted a carriage surrounded by dark figures. The horses panicked. Bandits had ambushed them. He saw a nightmare. One man stomped another to death while his partner watched, surrounded by corpses and more thugs. Pure horror, he had to run before they saw him, but it was too late. The strangers surrounded him, eyes glowing with a sinister fire. A girl sprints past, distracting the hero. They shout, but she doesn't look back. Her lungs burn and her heart races as she pushes her limits. Canada spotted her, stunned anyone survived. She was terrified, tears welling as her shaking body spoke for itself. He had to protect her, but how? Fear battled desire, no answer came. Panic consumed him, blocking all thought. He can't take them alone. They're armed and the girl is fleeing. Every step she takes stabs his brain like a knife. Hearing bandits talk of taking her alive for fun, rage boils inside him as he grasps their true intent. Fear vanished, replaced by justice. Fists clenched, he wouldn't abandon the girl. He was an outsider from another world with a duty to help, even banished from his kingdom. Remembering his powers, he built a shop on the spot, using a humiliating spell for the cause. No one expected this. Her eyes lit up with hope, stunning the bandits. Seizing the moment, Kanata yanked open the blinds. Hearing the offer, she ducked behind her savior, knees shaking as she held her breath to stay hidden. Bandits realized they needed leg shots after the awning dropped, blocking bow shots. A quick reaction could have saved 2 lives. Safe inside, Kanata's in deep. His heart pounds as he weighs his options, dreading the worst. Through cameras, he saw bandits breaking in. He wasn't calm, too many. They split into groups, covering more area. Kanata thought his troubles were over until a new problem appeared. Behind him, speechless strangers struggled to thank their hero. Now he finally got a good look at her. Her big eyes shone with happiness, but she hadn't recovered from what happened. She held herself uncertainly, afraid of danger here too. Canada looked at her, thinking she was pretty. He wondered if she was an elf, but quickly dismissed it. No time to think, intruders in black were already breaking in. The girl was terrified, so he had to act fast. Criminals pierced the canopy with a spear, visible on cameras. His computer showed 3 bandits, so he prepped for the fight. Kanata was rattled as the fire shutters buckled. The lady gripped his jacket, desperate to know if this nightmare was real. He turned, she gazed at him hopefully. Her gaze melted any heart. A superhero would have saved her easily long ago, but life's no fairy tale. She needed support. Canada hugged her, looked her in the eyes, promising to distract the bandits as they burst in so she could escape. He promised to protect her, telling her not to fear. Impressed by his courage, she blushed and smiled. It was pure joy. Glass shattered as 3 bandits burst in, trashing the place and demanding the kid named Canada. Confused and fed up, they're done playing games. One guy spots a closed door and points, realizing the targets are hiding inside. Canada was just leaving when a blade sliced through the door. He ducked to stay hidden and scrambled for a plan. He remembered yesterday's monster trick, a fire extinguisher. He needed that again. It's nearby. Stunning the criminals, the girl could escape. He explained his plan, but suddenly realized something was wrong. Store camera spots another thief, jeopardizing all plans. What's the move? Attack and let her escape or stop the enemies inside. His plan was too simple. They had to move fast. An axe splintered the door as bandits roared for blood. The girl huddled in the corner, fighting back tears. Suddenly it clicked, the fire alarm, his chance to save her. They'd never see it coming, and it was his only way out. A new sound terrified Great Ale residents. It was unknown tech. Elders shook heads, whispered witchcraft, while youth peered from windows, searching for the source. The boy lit a match and held it to the ceiling device. The bandits would never see this coming. Kanata was right. They were stunned and terrified. As water poured, the bandits thrashed like cornered animals, clueless where to flee or what was happening. Bandits thought it was magic, falling from surprise or because the tiles were too slippery. Their eyes widened as weapons tore from their hands, hovering, pulled by an invisible force. The noise distracts the bandits, giving Kanata and the stranger a chance to escape. Maybe someone hears it and comes to help. They hear a wild roar. Is it a black wolf? I can't risk scaring this friendly woman. Kanata stayed alert. Were these the same monsters from last night? Time to shut off the alarm. The water stops and it's finally quiet. Too much noise already. The device did its job. Bandits screamed retreat, abandoning the wounded. Monsters appeared, panic erupted. No one wanted to be eaten, so they fled. They never should have come. They forgot one. The hungry beast loomed over him. Canada and the stranger hoped the horror would end. She pressed against him, covering her ears. The owner stroked her head to soothe her tears. Silence fell, but neither dared to look up. Once she was safe, he promised the bandits and wolves were gone, but she kept her eyes down, hidden behind her lashes. As calm returned, he truly saw her. Perfect face, styled hair, neat expensive clothes. She clung to him like he was her savior. Akinos was shocked that certain moments spiked his feelings while numbing others. Engrossed in the problem, he never noticed he'd been holding a beautiful girl. Kanata froze, unsure how to act while she just stared, waiting. Was it unnecessary? He just saved her life, the touches accidental. He couldn't convince himself he wasn't bad, he had to get it together. Kanano froze as the girl finally broke her silence, screaming in terror. Luckily, the building was empty. Tears welled in the shop owner's eyes. She clung to him, sobbing, and he could only stroke her blonde hair. Hiro knew he needed to restore the shop before monsters returned. The building was trashed, grill and door broken, floor soaked. She was still terrified, and Kanata couldn't leave her like this. He had to calm the stranger before doing anything else. She was so tiny his hands nearly covered her whole back. Before he could embrace her, a system window flashed, level up. It annoyed him, he checked his stats. The hero spots a new light switch cover. It wasn't there before, and the owner is shocked. Why only on the 3rd level? She should have been there from the start. Kanata's rage erupted. Even the stranger feared her calm protector's violent outburst. In Salad, the girl guided Kanata west. Her fear vanished, but the forest still hid deadly secrets. She grabbed the seller's hand like old friends, making him awkward again. If all goes to plan, they'll reach the city in days. The stranger beamed. She thanked the boy, introducing herself as Tina Arnush. She was only 16. She was Sahara Arnush's daughter, a Kadna merchant, their destination through the forest. He listened, fascinated. Though 16 like him, she seemed independent. Tina flashed back to her trip to Grandil when bandits ambushed her cargo carriage. The servants hid the new one during the attack, but were killed. Their bodies lay just around the corner, leaving the young lady too traumatized to even think about it. She asked to bury them, thanking Kanata. He replied his principles wouldn't let him stay indifferent. Tina needed to ask an immodest question, apologizing first, ever polite. Her respect showed in every word. She always thanked or sought forgiveness. She tracked down her savior, expecting a legendary wizard. Instead, she found a regular guy in plain clothes, stunned to be mistaken for a mage. Kanata reveals his title as the hero of the shop from another world. He tries to explain, but a shocked Tina interrupts, asking if he's really an outsider. Is he really a legendary hero? Her eyes widened as he feared she'd faint from joy. Kanata didn't realize it was a big deal, so Tina explained everything she'd heard. In Ground Hill, everyone knows otherworld heroes are real. Legends tell how they crushed evil to save the world, and one girl has read these stories 1,000 times. He felt their status here matched King Arthur, Perseus, or Japan's Yamato Takeru. A massive honor to be listed with such legends. If Tina learned Kanata was an outcast, not a hero, her disappointment would crush him. The shopkeeper asked the girl for the way out, and she knew the path. Tina knows these trade routes well. She offers to guide him and waits for his answer. Canada thought it was impossible, but she agreed instantly. He realized she'd do anything for him. He agreed to go with him, but a worry lingered. She always held his hand, walking, eating, even gymnastics. Kanata wasn't used to it, wondering if all girls in this world were brave. Accustomed to being alone, it was a challenge. He struggled to hide his embarrassment, making her instantly worry and check if he was okay. He said he was fine, but accidentally used a pet name, quickly catching himself. Kanata steered the conversation elsewhere, urging Tina to leave the forest fast before monsters or bandits attacked again. He asks if monsters only hunt at night, using his wolf encounter to confirm the truth. Tina replied, but many monsters with strong magic move even in sunlight. Bandits strike in daylight unlike monsters, so heroes must stay alert. Kanata agreed, it's creepy that danger never ends even after their trials. The boy asked the newcomer where they were heading, Cadna. Kanata asked if he was also under Grandil's control. The hero's tense face betrays his fear. He wants to avoid that kingdom. But Tina barely knows him and has no clue about his tragic past. Malady reveals Cadena is a fortified city built by free traders, now thriving as the continent's most famous trade hub. Surprised, Kanata learned of freedom. The story instantly hooked him. She wasn't sure about freedom, but she loved the vibe. Cadena is a 10-day walk. They trek through forests by day and hide from monsters in shops at night. Tina loved the guy's BLT and milk tea, always raving it was delicious, but Kanata warned her to eat slower or she'd choke. Kanata asks if the war with the Dark Lord has lasted a century, and she confirms this year marks exactly 100 years. Her words hit hard. He assumed the Queen's story meant they had time to prepare for Crucia, but he was dead wrong. Looking at Tina Arnush, he saw the immense losses from years of war. The Dark Lord's lands constantly expand. To fix things, nations' rulers started the summoning ritual, but incredibly, no country has pulled it off lately. After 12 years, Grand Ale finally got good news. 31 otherworld heroes were summoned. Kanata realized their class was just army fodder. Against the Overlord's army, people finally felt hope, pinning everything on high school seniors who never imagined fighting such a war. The hero understood her plea, but doubted he could meet their expectations. Tina denied it, gushing Mr. Canada was perfect, confusing him again. His cheeks traitorously flushed, his gaze turned away. She reminded him he saved her life. She called Akano si Kanata a hero, her voice trembling, tears shining. He wanted to thank her but hesitated, his past mistakes flooding back. Is he even a real hero? Banished from another world, he was branded worthless. Telling her wasn't worth it. He couldn't reveal the truth, so he thanked her and acted like everything was fine. She wasn't done with the conversation. She had more to ask. Tina asks about his next move, but the hero has no plan, and truth is, he never did. Overjoyed, she invited him home, certain her father would welcome her savior. The newcomer hung on his every word, craving his endless stories. Whenever he shared an adventure, her eyes lit up with pure wonder. Though uncomfortable admitting his ignorance of this world, Kanata saw it as a chance to live with locals. He worried about burdening her family, but she assured him they'd welcome him. The hero thanked her. She smiled, waved it off like it was obvious. For her, helping others was natural, like breathing. Her voice held no insincerity. Aquino's never planned for the future. He was too busy. But with his stock exploding, now was the time to launch his business. Hiding in the store isn't a solution. Step out of your comfort zone, learn the world, and prepare for surprises. Suddenly, excitement surged through him. Having a goal felt surprisingly cool. He once thought only dreamers had ambitions, but now life was simple and clear. He rushed to the city with his sweet new girlfriend. She backed him completely, turning his usual silence into pure energy. 10 days later, they hit Cadena. Exhausted but hopeful, they rested, taking it all in as the real adventure just began. The girl pointed to Kanata, proudly calling it her hometown. "Look how beautiful," she exclaimed, the landscape captivated. The city was massive. Kanata saw ancient buildings against high cliffs. He never imagined its beauty. The otaku instantly thought an anime festival belonged here. Tina didn't get it. Locals had other interests. Kanata explained there were so many people. Hiro said anime festivals back home are packed, just like here. She listened, intrigued, picturing the incredible fan unity. Tina loves it here, hearing hero stories of Akihabara and Ikebukuro. She was eager to see them. The hero was impressed by how different everything is. He dreamt of a future. If he returned, could he take her, find happiness away from this world? She deserves a better life he can give her. Together, they'd adventure and crush the Dark Lord, but what's next? Will he find Tina in his world and finally live happily together? Realizing it was impossible, the hero nearly cried. Happy endings are for fairy tales, not reality. He blurted it out, shocking his partner. Tina rejoiced, finally home after everything, tears filling her eyes. Grabbing his hand, she confessed they were only there because of him and she could never repay his help. She begged to thank him another way, but Kanata was totally clueless. She begged him to keep protecting her, vowing to live only for him. Stunned, he wondered if anyone could resist her gaze and sweet words. Kanata tried to brush it off, but the words died in his throat. Her hands trembled against her dress. He'd never seen such pure devotion. He needs to thank Tina, so he scrambles for an excuse. He tells her he'd be lost in the forest without her help. Thrilled to help her savior, she repeated the request, ignoring his nervous confusion. Nada spotted something. Now it was their turn. Guards glared from under their helmets, scanning every traveler as tension spiked. Tina was thrilled while the guy looked confused. That's it, it's that simple. Was Tina's father more powerful than Kanata realized? Saving a millionaire's daughter felt like a cliché manga, especially since she had a special pass. He scanned the line, wondering where these strangers came from. Every face was unique. Yet a shared trait bound them. Were they all Cadden residents? He cursed his fate. If he were cooler, he'd be a hero and Tina his heroine. Why was his power so trash? Blushing, Tina told him to quit staring. She says this line seeks her past. Invisible from here, Zastinia still exists. I stayed silent, confused. Tina explained they're temporary workers who come for cash, then head back to the wall. Everyone in line was from there. The territory lies beyond the city's southern wall. Its people lack Cadden citizen rights. The hero wondered if it was a different city entirely. Kadena was massive. Confusing streets, strange signs, endless turns. His head spun, fearing he'd get lost. Then Tina grabbed his hand. She took him home, clearly missing her family. Kanata followed, captivated by her sudden change. She smiled, wanting him to meet her father immediately. Looking at their joined hands, the hero realized how fast life was changing. Navigating crowded streets, Armin and Kanata reached the spot and froze in shock. A massive building loomed. Is this her home? Was she too noble for his hand? Or did the story begin with a title, a bride from another world for the hero? He was right, she's a rich man's daughter, and she's totally clueless about why it's weird. He hoped he wouldn't be scolded for helping the girl, even if it was nothing special. Suddenly, a man approached. Tina leapt to his neck. Donis confessed he heard the attack and chose death. He's relieved the girl and her friend survived. She apologized for his worry, a habit despite her innocence, then introduced her savior to the man. He's the Arnush family's butler and thanked him for saving Lady Tina. Kanata replied it was a trifle, nothing to thank him for. A voice calls her name. Her words confirmed he was her father. Glad his daughter lived, he reached out his hand. Kanata was thrilled everything ended perfectly. Tina was safe with her father, and he was proud to have helped. Suddenly, Dad hit Tina. Why? He blamed her for losing the cargo and property. Calling her worthless, he banned her from home until she pays it all back. Kanata seethed at the adult's actions. He burned with injustice, ready to intervene, but the steward stopped him, explaining it was a private family matter. The hero ignored him. He couldn't strike his fat father, but he'd lash out for insulting the girl. Just let him try to touch her again. He called Kanata a beggar. Tina, on the cold road, clutched her burning cheek. Her ringing voice turned weak, plaintive as she sobbed, begging Kanata for help. He reminded the fat freak his daughter Tina nearly died. How dare he call himself a father after that? Every word dripped with contempt for the man. Tension mounted. The man wouldn't back down, feeling the young man was getting too bold. Had he forgotten city rules? Tina begged him to stop, even kneeling. He risked his life to protect her. One day, he'll save Grandel and the entire world. She said Mr. Canada's no ordinary man, but a hero from another world. The man smirked. What hero gets expelled and branded a nobody? It proves he's just vain and worthless. He gritted his teeth. He wanted the truth revealed in person, not embarrassing him before her family. How would she see him now? Father added, this scoundrel did terrible things. He couldn't know those crimes were faked to ruin Canada's rep. Talking to this loser shamed the Arnu name, so he pointed and kicked him out while Tina watched sadly. She stood and shouted that Kanata was her hero, demanding respect. Tears filled her eyes, leaving the boy stunned. He never thought anyone would actually believe him. Her father ignored her, grabbing her hand and ordering her back to work now that she was alive. Tina hated it. She sobbed for Kanata's help, but he could only reach out as her desperate cries shattered his heart. Hero lands in Zastania, but unlike anywhere else, it's a total slum. Dirt, abandoned houses, and crushing poverty. The man apologizes for his brother's insults, but Kanata insists he's the one at fault. He has no right to meddle in Tina's family drama, even if their split was inevitable. Taking her by force just causes more problems. Fists clenched, the guy apologetically asks a question. The man agrees. Canada wants to open its own business in the city and seeks a suitable store location. He warns that trading is impossible without citizenship. He offers an option: do it in the load-bearing wall. Donna says anyone can live and trade here freely. Newcomers aren't driven away, but forced to settle on the outskirts, far from the wall, where attack danger is high, becoming human shields. Alone in the open, he's defenseless and praying for safety. Canada heaves a sigh. His new life begins, and he's ready for every challenge. People turn, surprised, at the guy who shouted. An otherworldly call summons thieves to raid the Kanata store's rare loot. People enter the store, stunned, as the man recalls Grandale's residence. He used to avoid the locals, but now he's finally opening up. He's determined to run this business, so things are falling into place. A beautiful girl approaches the hero, asking what history is. Kanata smiles. This store sells rare otherworldly goods. Don't be shy. City residents are shocked, but still buy something. The first customer loved the sandwich, so Kanata vowed to keep them coming back. Suddenly, awkward silence fell between them. Kanata forgot to price the product. He's terrified because he's never spent a dime in Grendel. His royal scholarship meant he never even stepped foot in a shop. The boy ignores money's cost, struggling to name coins despite knowing only 4. The confused young man pieces it together. He charges 1 bronze coin. Visitors are stunned. The crowd swarms the checkout for the cheap loot, terrifying our hero. Evening hit, the shop shut. Canada's wiped out from the grind. It was a crazy day. A kind woman later explained the local exchange rate. 1 copper coin bought everything. If Kanata had this shop, he'd visit every day. He remembers the shopping craze, but now he knows it was reckless. He thinks if he'd known this, he'd ask Tina about local currency. He can't stop worrying about her, terrified he's let her down. Kanata misses her and aches to see her. A month since opening, he learned the language and adapted to the store's grind. He capped everyone at 5 items. Visitors only restroom. He set shifts and restocking breaks. The 24 hours sign is a lie, but he hopes the locals won't notice. Just 1 checkout runs. Canada still backs everything, but locals now maintain it themselves. The hero's already starting to fit in. He finally found the purpose he long searched for. A man knocks on the boy's door to get his attention. Kanata lets Zarl in to grab the goods. Boy gives him yesterday's money. Man commends his excellent work and trading skills. Zarl jokes he envies Kanata. The suspicious man is actually a Western merchant. They met last week at the store opening. The boy just wanted to rest, but a stranger suddenly spoke, startling him. The merchant grinned through the door and pitched a wild deal. The man's suspicious vibe terrified her. I asked the owner about exchanging earnings, but he didn't grasp exchange. The merchant says at 1 coin per item, the boy rakes in thousands daily. He's sure storage is a nightmare, and the hero starts to wonder. Zero offers to swap bronze for gold, but demands payment. He wanted 0.5% for his services, calling it a profitable offer. He suspected the merchant, but the shop's massive pile of gold made the offer impossible to ignore. Their alliance starts here. At the very beginning of their business relationship, the guy felt uneasy, unsure if this person was good, but he still exchanged coins. The guys still team up. The merchant jokes Kanata is a deity, making him blush and beg for no more nicknames. Kanata wonders if Ashia is the only goddess. Zarl confirms she's a goddess, meaning women rule Grandel and the world, holding every seat of power. Zarl explains saintly actions embody goddess Ashia. Nagag agrees but finds it strange. He struggles to accept his miraculous existence, man or woman. Merchant wonders how Grandel residents drove out such a powerful hero, calling them fools. Kanata, surprised rumors spread so fast, recounts negotiating with them to no avail. He thinks of Tamaki, wondering how she's doing. He asks Zeril how Grando's doing. Beyond the exile news, the merchant reveals other kingdoms aid heroes, while Grandel traps them inside. Zeril asks if the hero wants to know what's happening in the city. Hero confirms. Even with many corrupt heroes, he has friends he cares about and wants to find. The merchant linked the clue to Canada and ordered his men to investigate. He'd do anything for the hero, leaving the boy flustered and thankful. The boy asks why the man is so kind for no gain, leaving the man completely confused. He thinks Kanata is the greatest hero in centuries. This shocks the boy. The merchant reveals the truth. Nobody wants the heroes to win, leaving Canada stunned. His war fuels a large economic system. If the Dark Lord disappears, countries trading resources and mercenaries lose work, sparking a worldwide crisis and plunging millions into poverty. This death toll far exceeded the monster kills. He suspected Grandel rejected help just to stay in control. Zeres says the global food crisis can be solved fast, but only with this guy. He creates infinite resources from nothing. This is why the merchant believes Kana is the true goddess Ashia. The hero's expression shifts instantly. He pressed the merchant why the boy endlessly created goods. He couldn't grasp how Zaralia knew, since he only told Shadow his store system. He explains he's a regular. His crew watches 24/7, and they've never seen a single delivery. Zarl calls the store suspicious, making Kanata realize he messed up. The merchant reveals everything will be made here. Stunned by his own genius, the young man knows they shouldn't be enemies. Hiro wanted his secret kept. Zerla agreed, promising no more questions. He views him as a vital partner. This bond beats slaying monsters, and Kanata values him deeply. Zero leaves the store, vowing to find all Grandel news today and share it. Boys say goodbye. Kanata hammers away at his keyboard. Noise distracts him here. Noise rattles the emergency exit. He panics. The locals shouldn't know it exists. His mind spirals through every nightmare scenario. He fears Tina's father sent a mercenary for him. A voice calls from outside. He calls Mr. Kanata like they're old friends. The hero tenses, utterly shocked. He flings the door open. He was right. He knows that voice. Tina throws herself into a boy's arms, overjoyed to finally meet Mr. Kanata, her lifelong dream. Reunited and overjoyed, they finally feel alive again. Girl stands in hallway. She can't leave. Boy wonders if she likes him. He remembers his cat Mimi, who was attached to him. The boy's awkward from the long hug and wants to end it fast. He shoves Tina, but she breaks free. Kanata's thrilled to meet him and invites the girl inside, and she gladly accepts. He asks how she tracked him through this massive city. Rumors of his successful shop outside the city confirmed everything. She tried to reach him sooner, but was forbidden from leaving home. Upset, Kanata must apologize for not telling the girl he was expelled from Grandel. Tina just stared at the guy, understandably. She told him no apology was needed, stunning him. The girl sees this company as true heroes and can't believe Grandel made such a mistake driving them away. Grandel must now really regret that decision. Tina had watched the store since noon. Kanata was shocked she'd said nothing. She's fascinated. People stream into his store, always leaving with smiles. She wonders if this is every hero's true dream. His store's cheap goods don't justify it or make him useful. Tina denies it. She believes in him, crediting him for everything. Tina thinks her abilities are the best. Kanata remembers Zarl, who, like Tina, said similar words. A merchant's daughter, she knows trade. He's blushing but happy. Tina grabs the boy's hands and calls him a true hero. She reminds him he saved her life, calling him her true hero. He blushes at her praise. She assumes he feels worthless because he can't fight monsters. She calls it nonsense. He can't fight, but his potential to save lives is limitless. Tina tells him to be proud. Kanata, touched by her support, thanks her. Her words lighten his soul. She tells him that no matter what happens, she'll always be by his side. Suddenly, the girl leans in to kiss the boy, surprising and confusing him. He's paralyzed with disbelief. Kanata pushes away the surprised girl, realizing he's not yet ready for relationship changes. Embarrassed, he rejects her, terrifying Tina. Awkwardly, he gets up and fusses, saying it's time to end the break and open the store. Customers are tired of waiting. Tina calls it artificial. Kanta awkwardly justifies himself. 2 months pass since Tina returned. Kanata's store is exploding with customers, so Tina jumps in to help. The girl tells the hero visitors are down. He can take a break. He thanks her, grabbing the boxes. He takes a break, telling Tina to call if needed. She just smiles, insisting everything's under control. Evening, store closes. Tina confronts Mr. Kanata. She asks to help the boy, unnerving him. She told her dad she's intending to stay, leaving him shocked. Tina is moving in. She's happy they can live together, and he finally understood what happened. Tina vows to help, telling him to trust her. Seeing her smile, Kanata realizes he must protect her. She's even better than he imagined. He wonders if Caden and Zarl are typical merchants while Tina watches him closely. He hires her as his assistant. Her genius and his trust keep him calm, so he tells her to rely on him too. Tina thanks the guy, claiming she knows everything, but Kanata interrupts. He meant himself, not the store. He interrupts, demanding what she meant by knowing everything. Tina replies. He calls her Nachka, sweetly mentioning her back birthmark and other secrets. The shocked boy kneels and begs for forgiveness, but the confused girl tells him to stop. The shop is still booming. Thanks to Tinny, everything's smooth, letting Canada eat and rest in peace. No longer alone, his life is finally full, calm, and happy. That evening, the boy tells Tina it's late and she needs rest. No rest for her. At her computer, she tells him to break, quickly logging today's earnings. He smiles awkwardly. Nothing shocks him anymore except Tina's professionalism. He believes if she had internet, she'd instantly promote their store online. Work finished, she glances at him, kills the lights, and nears his bed. She sits on his bed, watching him sleep. Boy wakes scared, knocks grill off bed. Tina clicks her tongue, muttering today's another failure. Kenneth observes her. Tina says goodnight and heads to bed. Hiding his face, the boy fights the urge to cross the line, knowing there's no turning back. Boy says goodnight and leaves. Girl sleeps, determined to try again tomorrow. He worked the shop all day and fought Tina all night. One day, the boy heard a sound, then realized his level rose. Shocked, he didn't understand what he'd done. Kanata realized only he heard the level rising, so he instantly rushed out, shouting to Tinny he'd be in his office. Confused since he hadn't even fought, he checked his status for a system glitch. He leveled up without fighting. Running the shop unlocked new products and a high-tech drone defense system. New icons popped up on his desktop. He's in no hurry to open them. The store might have added new world-specific devices. They're confusing at first glance, so he won't click them needlessly. Boy finds a scout drone but doubts its safety. Hoping it's harmless, he launches it. The drone appears on camera, flying straight from the store roof. The drone shot skyward, amazing the boy who never expected it to fly so high. He's hyped for the new gear, especially when the drone spots a guy sleeping on his roof. Suddenly, he spots a stranger sleeping on the roof, shocking him. Zooming in, he tries to make out the body, confused. He sprints to the roof to find out why the Grand Ale guest is here. Canada glares at the roof and screams, making the confused girl flinch. He recognizes Tamaki, and she greets him. A clumsy girl tries to speak, trips and slams face first into the floor. Tamaki screams at the guy for terrifying her, warning any delicate skin bruises are his fault. Kanata asks why she's here. Girl runs to him, declaring she came for him. Her words stunned Kanata. Zarl asks another merchant if it's true. The man confirms it. He scans the night sky, worried. Roar booms from mountains. A massive monster erupts, hissing. Kanata asks how she arrived. Tamaki explains her levels spiked during training, giving her tracking skills to escape the city. He wonders how she survived this forest. It's crawling with deadly monsters. Tamaki vanished using her assassin's invisibility. She masked her presence perfectly. That's how she escaped the monsters, the boy realized. She gets nervous, expecting his awe. Instead, he just stood there, realizing he'd made her reveal two strange abilities while he only thought of new onigiri. Kanata doesn't care. He's focused on something else entirely. Tamaki awkwardly admits she ditched the training program. The girl complains the program's too hard, she can't keep up. The boy, surprised, asks if it's enough to defeat the Dark Lord. She's unfazed, certain Kuramachi's elite team will win easily without her. Kanata checks on the group, but the girl barely answers him. Third team worried for him. A nearby store saved many, but after he left, some even isolated themselves. Everyone believed Kuramoto. The boy was expelled for his mistakes. He angrily noted first-team players never accepted him, but Kanata's best friend worried. She asks the hero about Esajiri Reiko, but he barely mentioned her. Tamaki reveals she vanished the moment that guy left town. Minajuki ran into her at the gate. She told him after Aki, her long-watched Nasukan was finally expelled. She had nothing left in this city. She decided to go solo, wishing Nazuki and Kwon luck as she headed out alone. Boy surprised the girl watched him the whole time, asking why. Tamaki doesn't know, wondering if she could have run after him. He replies he didn't notice her. Boy asks if it's okay one of the 13 went alone. Tamaki replies Rakiachin has Po. But she's clueless about her own power. Canada wants the girl to find her using her tracking ability. She gives up. Without her target, the plan is ruined and they took all the gear. The guy approaches a merchant for info on them or Gary. The girl thanks Kanata. Glad he cares for Reichakin, she thanks him. To him, this was obvious. He wants his classmates to survive and for everyone to return home together. Happy, the girl smiles knowingly at the boy. She's certain everyone will make it back alive. He knows her search skills need a goal, so he drops a hint. The girl waves her arms, awkwardly shouting, while the boy stands confused. Tamaka already had a kitten boy keychain in her bag, relieved he didn't spot it. She touches her keychain, Kanata oblivious. Tina bursts in, panicking that the sandwiches are almost gone. She spots Tamaki and awkwardly apologizes, but he just screams in terror. She snaps, asking who the pretty girl is. He realizes they've only just met. Kanata calls the girl his employee. They run the shop by day and live together at night. Tina introduces herself, admitting she's a bit clumsy. Tamaki cheers. She knew Tina was just an employee, but never suspected he was short-staffed. She shouts again, offering a ride, but Tina cuts in to apologize for the topic. Since she joined, she thinks 2 people are plenty. She looks to Kanat for approval, but he's stunned Tina made everything so much easier. They still need more workers. Tina's fuming, but Tamaki's thrilled. Tina buries her face in disappointment. The boy calms her, admitting Tamaki's loud, selfish, and careless like her grandpa, but she's not so bad. The boy tells Timoki his store's level skyrocketed. They lead her inside, and she's amazed by everything. Tamaki enjoys various sandwiches, rice circles, and drinks, plus a huge selection of sweets like pudding and melon bread. Kanata proudly recalls having just 3 dishes once. She wants to live here forever. She leaps into his arms, calling him the best. She dashes through the store, hunting for the perfect cola to pair with fries while Kanata watches with a smug grin. She loves new jumps, especially with treats around. Tina giggles, calling Tamaki hilarious as Kanata agrees. Weird as she is, she always cares for her classmates, even him. He wants her to treat him well, too. Tina apologizes for her rudeness, honored to meet heroes from another world. Tamaki declares starting tomorrow, she'll work hard to be reliable. Next morning, Tamaki's tired, calls for a break. Kanata's surprised she tired quickly. With no visitors in sight, they all take a break. Boy noticed fewer visitors than usual. Tina went to close the door, but a customer waited outside. Kanata was shocked to find Sochi's district manager, Melty, already waiting at the door. She's called the district head, yet no clear territories exist. As an elder, she often organizes local meetings and loves French fries. Everyone loves Sochi, the district head and mother for all. She thanks the heroes, and Kanata thanks her for accepting him. The woman believes Kanata is indispensable to their neighborhood, so they should be grateful. She demanded to meet his employees. Tamaki reveals he's a hero from another world, just like Kanata, and is glad to meet her. Smiling, she calls it an honor to have 2 heroes in the outer district. Tina meets the woman and thanks her for looking after them. Kanata's unsure if Tina minds her city center origins, so she just calls her an angel. She'd heard a nice girl worked here, pleased to finally see the one she'd heard so much about. Joyful tears stream as she thanks him, grateful to have met him. Kanata's happy Sochi and Tina bonded. The boy thanks the district head for visiting, then asks if she's here on business. She places her hand on her heart, saying she came to tell him something important. She's fuming, but she wants him out of the store immediately. Zorel suddenly appears, backing her words. Everyone but Sochi fears the merchant's sudden arrival, too stunned to ask how he got there. They were so busy talking, they didn't even notice him walk in. He praises Tina and the leader, then spots Tamaki, realizing he missed many other beautiful girls. She tells Zorel he's just in time since she was talking to Aquino. The merchant apologizes and asks her to continue. The woman explains, it's necessary for Akina's son and the store's safety. He stares in shock, demanding she repeat herself. She reveals an ancient earth dragon long inhabited this land, here before the demon lord even created monsters. It sleeps in the mountains, but every 4 years descends to hunt. Kanata screamed in shock, demanding why he was only told months after entering the outer zone, while Zorel scratched his head, assuming he already knew. He reveals the massive city wall protects from the fierce earth dragon. The boy wonders if that's why newcomers live outside. Kanata wonders if the earth dragon KD's attacks, what happens to the people behind the wall? Staying safe isn't enough. Kirill explains most evacuated, but some face money and health issues. Those trapped become victims. The rope can't understand why the city won't help them. The city has knights and guards. Knowing the attack time, why not just hide everyone behind the walls? Tina's relieved it ended this way. City gates slam shut. Defenses begin, abandoning outer zone residents. Kanata understands the grim reality. Tina hears rumors the outer area was wrecked after the cadets left, but the residents survived. She can't remember the details. She's sorry. Kanata gently covers her hands. Tina and Kanata hint it's time to revisit the topic. She sadly agrees. Cadiz awakened, heading their way. Zorel ordered an evacuation beyond the outer wall. Kanata realizes why it's so empty. Chief warns Cadiz may attack tonight, apologizing for the suddenness. These people were dirt poor, but this store changed everything. Now everyone is smiling, and a woman thanks the hero for building it right next door. Zeril says everyone wants heroes safe. Zeril says everyone wants heroes safe. As Cadiz heads back, the merchant finishes his thought. Tamaki faces Canada. He tells her to stop looking like that, but they're currently facing the game's final boss. For the city, the hero decides. Tina grabs Kanata's hand, supporting her. He turns to Tina beside him. They lock eyes and Kanata nods. He joyfully announces all decisions are made. Zarl is thrilled. Zarl orders his men to move them to safety now, because if they leave. Kanata interrupts, proudly declaring he's the store's hero and will defeat this earthly dragon. His words stun everyone but Tina. Tamaki repeats the boy's hero talk of defeating Cadiz. They scream at the hero, proving his words meant nothing. Kanata nervously grips the chair, blindsided by the rebuttal to his words. Ignoring protests, the boy asks what a Cadiz looks like. The merchant is stunned. How can he fight a dragon he knows nothing about? He calls it a powerful, muscle-bound dragon that shrugs off magic and swords. Named Cadiz. A warning. Its armored, thick-scaled body baffles the military. He realizes the dragon resists everything, making it a complex, deadly puzzle. Tamaki panics, unsure if heroes can act. Tina asks his plan. He's got a plan, but it's untested, so he's unsure if it'll work. Canada thanks the outer wall for this home, but it needs your help to make it real. Hero knows the risks, but asks everyone in the room to help him. Tina immediately sides with the boy, saying she'll always protect those she cares for, which is why she trusts him. She agrees to help Kanata, sharing an awkward glance. Tamaki shouts, offering help because she believes in him and promised to protect him. She's been friends with Canada for years, so she has no choice. She calls for help, but without powers, she can only treat the wounded. Kanata cheers and thanks everyone. Zeril panics, having no clue what to do. He fears everything will go wrong because of them. But Kanata laughs. If the merchant helps them, the guy helps the merchant. Zeril keeps demanding the secret plan to destroy Cadiz. Night falls, dragon meeting prepped. Time to light the lanterns. The boy thanks the team and orders the finished workers to evacuate. They quickly agree. The hero ponders. Tamaki handles the drone, waiting for the store's signal to launch. Allies helped, everything's ready. Everything rests on the hero slaying the dragon. He's coped so far, but now he faces a strong dragon. He doubts he can beat it up close. Failure dooms everyone. Tina edges toward the tense man, asking if he's okay. Kanata confesses to the girl he's scared. Tina backs Kanata, promising they'll win. He's stunned by her confidence, wishing he had that same faith. Tina tells Kanata magic words. He's stunned. She tells him even if he fails, and the world turns against him. She's always there, so he shouldn't fear mistakes. She doesn't care if he's kind, brave, or a coward. She'll protect Kanata no matter what. He stares, stunned. She smiles shyly, asking if her words helped. Her words sparked his confidence, and he calls it a miracle. Tina beams at the boy. Suddenly, a loud roar and screams erupt from afar. Cadiz claimed the mountains. Heroes gape at the huge earth dragon. Canada yells for Tamaki to lure the dragon with the drone. The girl quickly clicks the mouse. The drone zips to the dragon. Kanata panics. Cadiz is way bigger than he imagined. Tamaki pops from the hatch, beaming, announcing the dragon chased the drone and expects praise. She accepts the challenge against the massive dragon, her knees shaking as Tina promises everything will be fine. Boy's uncertain reply might frighten Tamaki. Kanata needs a monster-sized magazine, praying he survives the impact. The dragon charges the store. Heroes grip the rope as Kanata yells, prepare for impact. Cadiz shreds the building. A dull thud, the guys clutch the magazine fiercely. Canada stands up and confirms the kills. They cleared the stage, but it's not over. Grabbing extinguishers, they move out. 3 heroes vow. They charge the dragon, fire extinguishers in hand. The boy orders, aim straight. The dragon spots the heroes, horrifying them. The dragon shields its eyes. Its shell is strong, but the inside is fragile. Boy stares into Cadiz's eyes, daring to mock him. Terrified, the girl longs for her parents, yet charges into battle. He opened a store to distract Cadiz. The building was a defense meant to stop city attacks and destruction. They wanted to force Cadiz to retreat, then attack again. Kanata hurls fire extinguishers at the dragon, draining its strength. He shoves a fire extinguisher into his mouth, and Tamaki panics. The dragon won't budge, and the man starts to panic. He had to distract the monster from the store, even briefly. He turns to the girl to ask for a fire extinguisher, but she's gone. He searches for the girl, but finds only Tina. He asks her for Tamaki and spots the ruined wall. Canada's terrified to even imagine her falling. The dragon roars, spitting fire extinguishers at the hero. Terrified, she screams for the Poppy's help. A monster lunges, blindsiding the dark-haired boy. A spear impales the creature's head. The MC sees it but doesn't know who threw it. Someone teases him from behind, claiming credit. He realizes it's Tamaki, turns but can't find her. She used assassin skills to spear the dragon's eyes. He can't see her through her ability, but admits he was worried. Behind them, the other girl is just glad Tamaki is safe. Tamaki from the void claims she's a hero, finding it easy. The hero praises her, but suddenly another girl appears behind him, claiming she's the real Tamaki. Two cylinders crack in the dragon's mouth as he lets out a low growl. Hero spots the dragon nearing the shop. Good. Before it bursts in, the girls must flee to the city. She agrees, rappelling down the rope. Tamaki turns and tells him she relies on him now. The second girl asks him to be careful, but he smiles confidently, telling them not to worry and to leave it to him. He dropped down to challenge the dragon as it roared and belched smoke. The boy realizes he needs to lure him to the very end. The dragon swoops in, and as it bites the shop, the MC commands the building to vanish. Suddenly, the building the dragon attacked vanishes, shocking it. The main character realizes it's perfect. The dragon fell into the store's pit. He realizes their trap stopped Cadiz. He remembers all preparations were complete. The dragon lies powerless in the pit. He realizes thinking of an item summons a store instantly, but the ground shakes and leaves a deadly gap below. He considers his height-based move, never expecting to use it. Now conditions are perfect. He sees the rope pull, knowing it's the signal. He signals, everyone pulls the rope, and the main character shoots up like an elevator. He leaps from the elevator onto the dragon, daring it to swallow him while glaring down his foe. MC shouts store. A building appears above the dragon, dropping onto it. The dragon just watches it fall. The store slams onto the dragon, leaving the hero midair. Dragon roars, coughs blood as the main character lands. The crowd watches in shock. Swords and magic failed before, but this worked. His power is insane. The man boasts this dragon is ancient. Its name suits it perfectly. He realizes the dragon is still rising. It rears up and growls over the fallen boy. He runs to the elevator, expecting a real ancient dragon too strong for one hit. Then the elevator lifts him. He gets serious and switches tactics. He orders everyone back, rope in hand, as the hero hovers above and commands the store to vanish. The main character jumps down, recalls the shop to finish the dragon. The guy gets to work. The main character vows to destroy the dragon. Back at the shop, he harnesses its endless possibilities to keep fighting. The dragon roars and face plants. The boy lands nearby, gasping for air over his fallen foe. He wonders if he defeated the dragon, but suddenly its clawed paw appears right in front of him, almost touching the boy. He reacts, quickly steps back, and sees the barely alive dragon. If he relaxes for a second, Cadiz breaks free and everyone is in danger. The dragon's paw stirs. Gasping, barely moving, his vision blurs as a thought hits him. Is his magic gone, or is it even needed for the shop? He curses, realizing he just needs exercise. He looks awful. The crowd above watches in shock as the hero suddenly stumbles and falls. He falls, turns to the guys. Both girls shout Kanata's name. He mentally apologizes to them, then blacks out. He remembers the ruins, where a crying boy begged his lifeless mother to wake up. Worry gripped him, then a sudden voice made him jump. Kanata spots two girls worried for the boy, recognizing Tamaki and Tina. Tina asks what happened to Cadiz. Kanata tries to get up but can't. Tamaki tells him to calm down and rest, don't get up. Tina grabs his shoulder, telling him he did it. He stares at the fallen dragon in the pit as she tearfully calls it incredible. Crowds roar as George slays the Cadiz dragon. Hands fly up in celebration as the girls pull him into a surprise hug, relieved it's finally over. The sun blazed as the outer wall's long struggle finally ended, and the people rejoiced in victory. The main character smiles, knowing ancient Earth dragon Cadiz fell. Days after defeating Cadiz, Cadena erupted in celebration as flags filled the streets. Residents, city and rural, flood the celebration, emerging from homes to drink and greet. Exhausted from days at his 24-hour store, he collapsed in bed, but the T-shirts were all the way on the 4th floor. Another disappointment hit. Tearing up, he realized his level hadn't moved. Even after crushing Cadiz, he was still stuck at level 24. He asks if the store kill was the trigger, a thought he's had before, but his level still rose just by working. He shows his shop, full of hands, wings, legs, weapons. He hopes for more chances to fight back soon. She excitedly checks their city earnings, finally securing their future, while the other girl tells him to eat up and get strong. MC wants a title from the saddest column, then a girl smacks him with bread. He's offered food, but another girl forbids it. Days later, he returns to work. The man grins, thanking him for the massive payday. The man says the store thrives. He promises help taking the box. Crowds hail him a hero, celebrating his return. The guy thanks him. Everyone's in high spirits, so he offers his thanks. But the man asks in shock if he's actually serious. The man demands Cadiz from the main character. The main character shockingly agrees, telling him to take it. The man hugs the boy, praising him before ordering everyone back to work. They'll flip the noble's loot for a massive profit, and the MC respects the hustle. He got the boss to throw them a huge party. He remembers the delicious food and loved every second. Someone calls out and he turns, reflecting on the chaos. A chubby man approaches, hailing him as the hero of Mazin. He's honored to meet him while a man in glasses stands behind. The girl. The man hopes his ungrateful daughter stays out of his business, but the MC is shocked, claiming Tina actually helps him. The man asks if he's serious. He tells his daughter she's lucky to have him. The MC is shocked he's actually her father, but the man just demands gratitude for everything he's done. A man asks him to marry his daughter. They're both shocked, but a voice behind them screams a loud objection. She warns her father he's scaring customers, harming their business. Another girl asks if he's Tina's father. He says yes. Guilty, the girl apologizes for her father's trouble. The boy smiles, says it's nothing, just surprised him. The girl asks Tina why she's been gone so long. Her dad's probably worried, but the MC thinks Tamaki doesn't know himself. He doubts he even cares for his daughter. His last visit should have prepped him to run the store, but Tina says it's not her problem. She reveals she's the 23rd of 46 kids, making MC and Tamaki spit their drinks in shock. Tamaki gasps, more kids than their class, true aristocrats. The man says they can still discuss what happened. Canada learns towns near Kadena and neighboring states heard the store hero beat caddies. But if word reaches Grand Ale, he knows they can win. Our hero insists they're ready, just as the Grand Ale Kingdom finally unveils its heroes. The heroes' four-man squad, led by the Immortal, captured the Eastern Goblin Cave. The first battle ends and Kanata feels things finally shifting. A lone swordsman just slaughtered every swamp lizard in the southeast, leaving Kanata and Tina shocked he did it alone. He warns lizards are far deadlier, and rumors claim the sword hero will slay the Dark Lord. Tamaki asks about sword hero Shiori, a name the MC knows. She joins the gaming club, dominating FPS. He noticed she keeps to herself, avoiding team play. She's a loner in real life, too. A man asks when the kingdom's hero's glory will reach other nations. If word gets out he killed the legendary dragon everyone feared, he'll be stuck in the spotlight, and for Grandel, that's a total nightmare. Silent at first, he makes one request, and Zariel vows to grant it. Night falls, riders on a cliff stare out. A drone flies overhead. He watches them on a screen. They're here early. He and Zero leaked the shop hero's location to Grandel, and now at the city edge, he's asked if he's moving on. Tamaki asks why. The boy admits he likes it here and doesn't want to leave, but he's hunted. If Grandel's pursuers find him, they'll destroy the city. He won't drag the locals into more trouble now that the caddy threat is gone, and they're hanging on his every word. Tamaki's heartbroken to leave her new friends, and the boy looks just as crushed. Gates open, food floods the outskirts, and the wealth gap finally shrinks. He plans to distribute store goods, a first that could finally help. Tina smiles, confident outer wall residents will sigh in relief. The MC says Grandel won't need the city once he leaves, but hostages remain a major threat. The man tells him not to worry. He says locals won't fight in dangerous times. Instead, they'll hire inland mercenaries. The city stays safe, and the man thanks him. Horsemen charge as the girls look back. Canada knows he must stall the pursuers to buy Shadow and Tamaka time. He's the only one who can. His drone shows him people outside the store, but Crusades and the heroes are missing. No negotiations, they came for him. Cloaked figures fire spells from magic circles, leaving him shocked that magic is actually real. But the magic projectiles slam into the shop's barrier, doing no damage. The knights are stunned, so MC rushes. Magic shutters hold firm, leaving the confused knights with outdated info on the shop. A knight points his sword. No panic move. Get him out of this strange building fast. He orders the charge, and knights storm the building to tear it down. He hears loud banging, realizing the extinguisher's smoke won't hide him from so many. He curses Grandel. Suddenly, someone hooks onto the roof. Knights scale the roof with ropes, and the main character wonders why so many came for him. One night, something prepares to strike from above. The hero sees it and knows he's in trouble. The girls watch from the cliff, anxious for Kanata, but Tamaki knows he's fine after beating Kata alone. Night falls again, an ominous sign. He clutches a fire extinguisher. Suddenly, the system announces his 24-hour store level increased. Happy, the boy realized he gained night experience. He smiles, raises his hand, and checks his status. His status reveals everything. His only skill is a level 5 shop. Stats: Endurance 8, Strength 8, Agility 6, Magic 0, and Luck 8. He hasn't mastered. He happily saw lunch boxes and a microwave, but suddenly noticed something that stunned him. Canada spots items on the computer that shouldn't be in the shop. He assumes it's a mistake, but these magic-shielded drones and machines look weird. The protagonist acts, clicking and moving his mouse. He clicks the 5 Gatling gun icon, realizing, no time to hesitate, he must seize this chance. Suddenly, 2 whirring machine guns burst from the roof, making Knights gasp at the twin 5-barreled Gatling cannons, the building's anti-intrusion defense. Shocked, the main character asks if this is normal. A Gatling's too powerful for this swords and magic world. It shouldn't exist. How is this possible? The Impec machine gun is empty. Canada confirms it. System asks to enable auto mode. Canada clicks yes. Roof machine guns shred the Knights, sending a horse into a panic. The Knights lie groaning and powerless. He smiles, glad his non-lethal power lets him go all out, but as he looks closer, he's suddenly shocked. He spots a computer icon displaying the shop's rotation function, clicking it, trying to understand. That night on the roof, he notices movements below, wondering what's happening this time. The store spins wildly, hurling the Knights off the roof as the crowd watches in shock. A Knight's Watch comrade plummets, screaming from the roof before them. He thought he'd seen it all, but this is hilarious. Laughing at the spinning magazine, he fires the machine gun again as the barrels rotate. Machine guns blaze from the roof all night near the store. Some try to escape, others drop. Knights ask what building this is. They weren't warned, don't know how to act. The lead commander reveals Prime Minister Drake personally ordered this mission. Failure isn't an option. They must finish the job without fear. Don't even question who Drake is. Seeing them demoralized, the boy seizes his chance to escape. He taps the keys, securing their plan through the store before pushing his luck even further. Cinema drones swarm the store, spraying smoke until the bandits choke and cough. He exits, spots smoke, covers his mouth. It's his escape. As Knights choke, the hero flees into the forest. His crew surrounds him, cheering for their hero's arrival. Exhausted, he tells Tamaka to go on without him. A man throws a robe over the boy. Tamaka replies he can't ride, won't manage alone, and she can sneak past if needed. She mounts the horse and urges him to hurry, but he can't budge as Zerial barks for them to move. The main character and Tamaki smile at him, while Kanata thanks him. Zerial winks, thanks him for the payday, and promises they'll meet again if they survive. Man wishes luck as the horse bolts, startling Tamaki and Kanata. The boy smiles back, thanks them, and asks to greet the city. The girl eyes the road fearfully. Watching them a bit longer, the man waves beside his white horse. Hours before legendary Earth Dragon Caddis fell in Grandel that day. Inside the Great Hall, she smiles and thanks the Western traveler, asking how she can help. The kneeling boy warns the Western Alliance faces greater danger from the Demon Lord's army. He's Karl Gonsteiner, a Western Alliance envoy from Carter Rossi. The boy says they're exhausted and just proved demons are real, smart magic users. The Knights trade looks until a cough snaps them to attention. The girl smiles, promising to supply their country with soldiers and supplies, and quickly send 10,000 soldiers to the expeditionary force. Carlgan's shocked, the rumors are real. She vows to lead her nation against the Demon King, but there's a catch. A serious boy asks the girl if their new heroes can help them. A soldier reports the summoned heroes can't stop the Demon Lord's army. The blonde grins, claiming they'll soon show their true power. The girl confirms, hold on, the boy's watching something. He broods over her losing both parents to strange illnesses and inheriting the throne young. Her political fame in the West only fuels his frustration. The boy ends it, demanding his rulers. He politely asks his name and apologizes for not introducing himself. The boy reveals he was summoned from another world 6 months ago, happily introducing himself as Kuramachi Yudo, an immortal hero. The other boy stares in surprise. Still kneeling, Carlgan asks if Udal is truly a hero from another world, begging for forgiveness. Yudo smirks, revealing a secret. His heroes already crushed the eastern goblins and lizard dens, and he remembers it all. Their dream is finally within reach. Carlgan is stunned. Crushing the lizards was an incredible feat. Carlton assures a good report for the 3 countries, then thanks them, stands and bows. Boy leaves, girl asks Yudo if he's okay. Yudo stands, confirms everything's fine, thinking the noisy Western coalition needs a hero report. Yudo lifts her chin, telling her not to worry. If she listens, everything will be fine. She timidly takes his hand and agrees to follow him. A stranger interrupts, entering the hall to address King Kuramoto Yudo. An old man in a hat speaks. The girl gasps it's Prime Minister Drake. Yudo calmly asks what happened. He reveals they heard of the grocery store hero, a hero from another world, who defeated the legendary Earth Dragon in Kadana's Western Autonomous Region. Stunned, the girl from Yudo insists the shop hero couldn't have killed the dragon. It's impossible. The girl asks, didn't he claim to be a villain, not a hero? Why the cruel treatment? She heard he suffered terribly and still regrets it. She asks if Yudo killed the Earth Dragon, calling him a villain. Yudo tells her to relax, suspecting a setup. The girl shouts at the Prime Minister to send an immediate search party to Kaden. Before she finishes, Yudo reaches out, commands her to sleep, and she passes out. The girl slumps onto her throne. Sighing, the boy knows her lack of control endangers the nation. She's too young and naive to realize that lying is often necessary. PM asks Judah if he put her to sleep again, calling him bad. But Judah doesn't respond, turning to the man, asking, is it true? Every merchant in Kadena is buzzing about the shopkeeper hero. But Yudo smirks, asking how a guy with zero combat skills pulled it off. He doesn't know this legendary Earth Dragon, but the deputy head, a chosen one, was there helping him. He imagines Tamaki. She lives on the city's edge. Once she confirms the truth, they'll kill her, blame a monster, and tell the queen their lie was real. The man demands a capture squad, and the Prime Minister instantly approves. He agrees, the system confirms he's Drake. Grandel's Prime Minister, the usurper, exterminated the Crusade, killed his parents with magic, made a young girl heir, and steals all kingdom's achievements. Judas grins, finally proving he's the ultimate usurper. He's already swayed the queen, and with his powerful assessment magic, seizing control will be effortless. Drake asks Yudo about the assassin's hero, but Yudo assures him he'll handle it. Finding her is easier than that, store loser. Someone's lurking behind the column, so the man apologizes. Yudo glares at the column, warning eavesdropping isn't good, Shiori. She steps out, sword hidden at her back. She claims she just arrived and heard nothing. He walks up and she smirks, asking if he's scared she heard too much. The boy mocks, admitting he doesn't care. He thinks she should be more accommodating as classmates. He asks if that's true, but she unhappily apologizes, not caring either. The girl asks if he's plotting against their mission. Yudo replies, as leader, he prioritizes everyone's safety. They defeat the Dark Lord, return home. The boy scoffs, disbelieving, but it's a real miracle. Everyone's alive. She smiles, noting they can strike back unlike others, but Judah refuses to break orders as the nation's hero. He warns her to stop being selfish, earning an annoyed sigh. She asks Yudo the group's level. He confirms they're all level 3, far stronger now. Flashing 5 fingers, she says level 5 is better solo. He's left stunned as she walks off, announcing the Earth Dragon's defeat. Grinning, she calls the Earth Dragon quest exciting and demands to join. She asks for his level, refusing to let him surpass her. She walks, hoping to meet him, but 2 Night Watch soldiers round the corner. She realizes he's already Kadena-bound. As they greet and thank her, she acts serious. The queen wakes up and Yudo tilts her chin to check on her. She asks if he's slept, but suddenly remembers she needs the shop hero for answers. Yudo tells her to listen closely. He tells the girl the hero was evil, served a dark lord, terrorizing the city. That's why she banished him. The girl stares, shocked, and asks if it's true. The girl smiles, agreeing. He needs to boost his charms for more impact. That'll take time, so he tries again, asking the queen with an ironic smile if he got it right. Delicious food covers the table, as the trio claps their hands and digs in. She says boxed lunch is the best. He never thought he'd enjoy a hot bento in this new world, unlike his old meager servings from Gary and tea. Tamaki eats and heads for the store, bluntly telling the girl he doesn't need her. 5 days since leaving Kadena, they ride west, beyond Grandel's reach. Finding everything in store, they skip cities to leave no trail. MC smiles at the convenience. His shop hit level 5, now he's armed. His perfect store idea shattered. Unpredictable, but he's stronger. They added tons of gear. Tamaki grabs an item while the girl inspects one and turns to Kinoti. She admits she can't put on the lingerie and asks for help. She glances back, but Tamaki suddenly grabs her arm and takes over the explanation. More interesting stuff awaited everyone, especially the otherworlders, all eyes fixed on one box. Magazines, manga, books, and photo collections from another world appeared, bringing all modern reading material. Limited to 1 book a day and random drops, he realized finishing the set would take years. Tamaki, surprised, asks if this is all from their world. Something feels off. The MC replies the content is similar, but maybe it's a parallel world. He grimly realizes there's no info on their class's disappearance. Tina's stunned by the magic tech, shops, movies, and games. She's never seen anything like this, and her happiness makes everything perfect. Tina's surprised by a magazine of women in strange poses, finding it interesting. Good recommendations. Tamaki scolds him for ordering the Otherworld photo collection, banned since day one. Move on, they'll enter the Three Western Kingdoms Union. The girls ask what it is. Tina smiles, explaining these nations allied against the Dark Lord's constant attacks. This land is far more advanced than Grandel to the east. But first, cross the abyss of the Dark Lord Gorge. The main character gasps at the news. He asks if it's a castle unprepared. Tamaki replies, no, just a name, he still needs to sort this out. Tina smiles, confirming Tamaki's words. The Dark Lord's castle sits on his lands west of the Three Countries Alliance. The boy tells Tamaki not to be arrogant. The girl looks pleased. The Dark Lord's gorge hid and buried powerful monsters of the world-drooling Dark Lord. The Dark Lord's curse strips all choice from those at the bottom of the abyss, terrifying Tamaki. Tina warns him about monsters, but traders use safe roads, so it's fine. He sighs in relief, admitting it's reassuring. He asks if they defeat the Dark Lord, won't a new one appear? Tamaki replies it could happen, but what can they do? Tina grows sadder at his words. She tells her friends her suspicions, but admits she has no proof. She reveals a book called Forbidden Knowledge, but it's incredibly hard to find. The main character and Tamaki are stunned. Tina says the church torched these forbidden books to bury the truth. A child found a forbidden book in Kadina's underground library, read it out of curiosity, and it shocked her. Tina reveals the Dark Lord was created by summoned heroes, leaving the MC and Tamaki in total shock. Tamaki asks if they'll become Dark Lords. The boy explains, to defeat Dark Lords, they summon heroes from another world who become the new lords. The cycle repeats. A blindfolded girl whispers it's unconfirmable now, but legend claims. Summoned heroes from other worlds with special powers eventually become Dark Lords. Long ago, anyone with these powers at the hero selection was killed on sight. Tamaki smiles, checking if they're okay, if anyone's bothering them. The main character wonders how such a hero could become a Dark Lord. Only Yudokura Modii comes to mind. He knows this man won't be the final ruler. The main character asks Tina what the writings revealed about these abilities and their true nature. She reports the damage, but it only affects unique hero skills, and she's clearly worried. The MC claims his shop is special, but there's zero sign of a Dark Lord here. Protection is dangerous and useless. Tamaki remembers that hot meals and sweets are what the outer wall residents actually need. He smiles, telling the girl she's too cheerful, clumsy to be a killer. Surprised, she asks if he could just compliment her. Tina hugs the girl, declaring her love for the sweet hero Tamaki. Annoyed, the MC asks one final question, and she agrees. MC asks her if the hero's otherworldly. Once the Lord falls, he'll go home. She ponders his question. Worried, the girl warns that legends go silent here. Some say they stay forever, living as ordinary people. Rarely are people born with special abilities, descendants of heroes. This newborn child embodies it. She remembers the girl and realizes if this is true, Crusade was right about everything. Kana tells Tinny Queen Grandel revealed powerful magic can return the heroes home. Tinny asks about the Queen again, admits knowing nothing, and apologizes. Grandel has summoned heroes for ages, likely hiding secret magic from another world. She reminds them they must defeat the Dark Lord. Tamaki admits it's true, feeling scared. Suddenly, Tina addresses Kanata and Tamaki. Anxious, she asks if beating the Dark Lord sends them home, catching her friends off guard. The MC remembers home, but the girl clamps his mouth shut. She drops her hands, hugs herself, and apologizes to the two beside her. She questions their advance. They must first reach the Western Alliance. After MC and Tamaki stare at the girl, they prepare for the journey. Tamaki helps Tinny while MC ponders. He wonders what past heroes thought in big moments. Facing a choice, he looks to the sky. After weeks of travel, they reach the Dark Lord's Gorge where a signpost stood. The squad stares into the bottomless gorge, terrified of the demons below. These ancient survivors served the Dark Lord and are even more massive than the Caddises. He believes the Dark Lord who controlled him was cool, even cooler than Cades. He asks Tina how he lost. She replies the old books don't mention it, so she's curious too. He'd heard similar in hero training, then turns to find Tamaki and her horse gone, asking, shocked, where'd she go? Tina reveals Tamaki left for recon. Tamaki warned her to stay safe, but the boy ignored it. Now he's stunned. He's fed up with her solo act, remembering how she always ditched them for food or a cat. He tells Tinny to rest while he searches. She warns them to stay safe, and he nods to the girl by the horse. The main character treks the gorge, scans, suddenly spotting something. He spots her silhouette nearby, relieved she's close, until something shocks him to his core. He's confused seeing a girl cry, scream, and bang an invisible wall. Someone laughs, tells him he's alive. He just stands, silently observing. Two figures stand by the girl trapped in crystal. The one on the right smiles, recognizing Kaneda as the guy from the store. He freezes, realizing Kanamori and Natori Mitsuki stand before him. The girl in glasses, a shield mage, looks serious. Kanata poses as a shy girl in glasses, but she's actually a stalker obsessed with Kuramachi, watching his every move. Both glare at the boy, who realizes they're just two modest, obedient assistants in glasses, mere servants, even with Mitsuki. Kanamori reveals the field's massive range can track targets, trap them, and nullify their powers. He asks, surprised. Mitsuki explodes at the guy, Tamaki confused and withdrawn. The MC realizes Mitsuki's rage powers her ability. Kanamori reveals the VP is captured, leaving Tamaki terrified. Kanamori boasts he's Grandilly's biggest criminal, vowing Kanata will answer for his actions as he smirks, pointing at the main character. The MC screams he's innocent, but the guy mocks him, claiming every criminal says that. When the MC calls out his hostage-taking, the guy flies into a rage. Kana begs him not to sink under the pressure. If he wins, the captive girl goes free. He weighs the deal. Kanamori unleashes a torrent of dark water at the hero. Tina relives moments with her friends, knowing defeating the Dark Lord means saying goodbye. Her horse calmly chews nearby. Hearing a water noise, her worry for Kaneda and Tamaki spikes. A massive rumble erupts, stunning the enemies as the hero's store suddenly appears, leaving everyone in shock. Water surges inside but parts around him, leaving him untouched. Glasses boy snaps at Kaneda for using his shop as a shield. The MC smiles and apologizes to Kanamori, declaring he's changed as he raises his hand. Amori fumes while Tamaki gloats over his win. Glasses guy is annoyed, and the MC is completely lost. Kanamori angrily raises his hand, declaring he can't stand that smug face. He doesn't realize what's coming. Suddenly Kanamori freezes as the MC stands and guards himself. Silence falls, the main character intently watches. Kanamori violently coughs, writhing in pain. He collapses. His nearby girl looks surprised. Kinata asks what happened. Four Eyes stomps in a rage, gasping for air and demanding answers, but the MC didn't lift a finger. Eyes shift to Kanata and Tamaki before the man whips back around. It's Tina gazing at him in awe. He's stunned, while Kanamori watches with a disgusting smirk. He asks if she's involved. He notices water gathering at the boy's hand. Kaneda screams for her to run, but Mori laughs. It's too late. He readies another dark water blast. He rushes to help the girl. She looks at him, surprised, as he extends a hand, calling her name. Girl falls from cliff. Hero rushes, catches her midair. They both fall into the abyss. The guy looks down seriously, then suddenly screams. He flashes back to his life in the big city. He remembers the girl waving cheerfully, "Good morning." A boy beside her greets him. He pulls off his headphones, replying. Tamaki smiles at the sign, suggesting they go in after school. The main character is in his class. Everyone cheerfully greets with good morning. Students chatted, scrolled, read, or napped. A tall blonde enters, ordering everyone to sit for the morning meeting once the teacher arrives. He's holding something. Strange energy surges through the office. Everyone freezes in shock until a sudden scream erupts. He groans and blinks his eyes open, staring up after a warm dream of the past. He spots a hole in the ceiling, wondering if the store saved him, then sees Tina unconscious right above it. He asks if she's okay, but she wakes up and smacks him. He groans in pain while she stares back, confused. She apologizes to Kanata, blaming herself. He winks, claiming he pulled her in. He suddenly hugs the girl, surprising her. He's glad she's okay, admitting his immense relief. Suddenly her face calms. She smiles, hugs the boy, and cries happily. They get up. The girl asks Kanata where they are. Kanata looks out the window, spotting monster silhouettes at the bottom of Demon Valley. On the cliffs, they pass a monster. He calls his shop. Tina glances back, anxious. They descend the stairs. The MC goes first, saying it's his underground hideout. He knew something changed, but it felt like a comfy office. At the computer, he knows something huge is outside. This room's safer than the upstairs office. The girl agrees. The MC decides to inspect the surroundings. He clicks the drone icon, flying it outside the building. A huge dragon shocks them. The girl asks if it's a caddis, but Kanata denies it. This one's much larger than his Cadna foe and a different color, maybe another variety. Not one dragon, but many. The serious boy knows this is the Valley of Demons' true bottom. Girl spots something, points at the screen, tells the boy. A round object moves toward them. He's horrified. A creature tore through their store, leaving only ruin. The girl stands terrified. The girl asks why the shelter's unharmed. The MC notices it too. He realizes the store's destruction made no outside noise, so this place is separate. Their room is pitch black. He thinks this strange mechanism is good it exists, but senses it prepares for future problems. She tests how high they can rise. The drone climbs, 200, 300, 400, 1,000, 2,000, finally reaching 4,000 meters. He notes the massive depth. She spots a light, then an explosion kills the drone feed, shocking them both. Is this the demonic seal TK mentioned? She warned that once the curse hits rock bottom, there's no escape. The girl claims it's new to her, yet a powerful magic barrier blocks their path. He gasps in horror, asking if they're trapped forever, as a screen confirms there's no signal. They sprint ahead in terror as he yells for Tania to run faster. She's petrified. Canada tells Shadow to lightning dash. She agrees. He summons a store, it appears, and they rush inside as a dragon looms. Girl yells for boy to hurry. MC reaches out his hand. Suddenly, dragons shattered the store walls. Clawed paw pierces through anything in his way. He tumbles down the stairs, grinning about their new home. Tina screams as he lies there, convinced it's all just a game. The dragon eyes the door in its paw, surprised by no word of replenished supplies. Then the MC hears squeaking as the system announces a store level up, shocking him. The notification spams his screen, catching him off guard. He expected one, but they keep coming as Tina stares in shock. MC admits his level jumped by 4, and Tina cheers, wonderful. She asks for news, and the MC raises his hand to investigate. A table appears with new products and household goods. The main character is amazed the selection is almost like a real store, and Tina also shows her surprise. He's thrilled but needs more than food. His only possession, a shower cabin, he steps inside, imagining the bunker. He asks if he even has a choice in this dead end, and where the weapon is with the store in ruins. Canada hid under the table, eyes covered. He apologizes to Tina, admitting he's too weak to save her, but Tina tells him to keep it together. She grabs his hand, smiles, suggests they shower. She assures him looks happy, everything's fine. The boy stares surprised, calls her name. She offers him tea and sandwiches. He asks if there's food, and she replies she packed plenty just for this. Tina smiles, telling him to stay calm so they can plan their escape. She insists food clears the mind and being trapped is better together. They'll boost their spirits and move on, but the MC feels totally awkward. He agrees it's too early to quit, thanking her for her support. Tina's glad he's feeling better. She grinned, admitting they hadn't hung out in ages, but he missed her words. Since then they lived hidden underground. The girl showered. After endless fighting, his level barely rose, and he was furious.